Hi everyone, it's Karen and I'm back with the final pages in this beautiful lace and doily book that I have been creating as a designer for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. And I will leave links to her store in the description box below. She has just listed a lot of new laces and trims and bling and some cabochons in the store. So if you haven't been there recently, you'll need to pop over and see all the wonderful pretty goodies that have been added to the store. And I will also leave links to the designers that are designing for Kim and AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy, because they are making beautiful and inspirational projects with the beautiful items that they have received from AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. So the last video I told you we had just the back page, which I had started and I had it all covered up so you couldn't see it, and then the very back of the lace and doily book to finish. And I have done that, but instead of showing you those pages first, I'm just going to do a complete flip through now, and I've also will be adding some photos at the very end of all the pages so that you can have hopefully a close-up look at everything. I have the camera set, whoops, as I just move it. I have the camera set so I have good view here, and I hopefully can zoom in if there's something that I think would be beneficial, or I'll hold it up to the camera. This is the front as we did together on the very first video. I have added, and I think there was a sneak peek of this on my second video, I added this gorgeous heart piece that I purchased, and I've put that on the front cover as well. And I love how it looks on there, and so that is the addition on this front page. And then everything else is the same as how we saw in the very first video when we put it together. And so you can refer back to part 1 if you want to see more details about the laces and these beautiful flowers, appliques, these bling. They're all from AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. I did finish off the binding. Initially, all I had was this peachy pink chiffon ribbon in holding the pages together, and I said I was going to add in more things, and I have. So I've added in just some lace from my stash. I've added in some pearl string from my stash. And then I added in the leaf trim from Kim's shop. She usually always has some kind of this leaf trim. And I added 6 pieces of it in total. I added 2 in the front here and then some in the back. And then on the end of this leaf trim, I added in another one of my little pearly beaded butterflies, similar to the one that is on the front cover here that the little girl is looking up at. This one's a little bit different. Same pearly beads, but a little bit different finishing. A little bit of cup chain for the center, which is really pretty. And Kim carries this 2mm cup chain in the shop. And there is a tutorial on my channel on how I make my little beaded butterflies. So I think the side turned out really pretty. It's got lots of lusciousness to it, and it hangs down really pretty on the side of the page. And of course, those gorgeous pinky peachy flowers from Kim's shop here, these 3 match this chiffon ribbon so pretty. And I love how it all ties together. So that is the front, and then we'll just flip through. You've seen all these pages, so I'll just tell you if I've added anything. I had 2 of these beautiful little scrolly leafy pieces from Kim's shop. I knew I had a 3rd one. I couldn't find it. When I cleaned up my desk, I finally found it. So I added it here. And then, of course, it ended right here behind this cluster of flowers, and I did not like that. I don't like the look of seeing the end, like the end of something. I like it to sort of blend in with the next thing. So what I did was I added a cluster of the little flowers, which are from that trim that I've had in my design team package with the leaves, and I've used that quite a bit in the book The same ones are here. And we used it when we were actually doing some of the pages. And then just a part of one of the leaves. And I added some little pearly beads onto the bulb pin that is holding the little angel there. And then this is one of the appliques. I had 2 in my design team package, and I used one on another page. And I really like this one as well. And when I flip to that page, I'll show you why I decided to add it here. It looks nice there, but there's another reason for it. I added some gold thread. I'll just zoom in on that little dress so you can see that better. I added some gold thread in a double little bow for the top of the dress and 3 little gold flat backs to the front of that dress as well. I hadn't finished that when we did that page. And I think that's it. I can't remember if in the first video, I know I had done the waist, but I may have added this piece on the bottom too. At the end, I ended up with this little piece left, and it fit perfectly there. So I felt it was meant to be there. So I added that in. And then the next page, oh, and I forgot to mention, this is a big deep pocket here created with this gorgeous lace. You'll remember that from that video. But there is a pocket on every page. With me creating that on that page, you get beautiful pocket on every page. And as I had mentioned before, I really sort of envisioned this to possibly be a memory holding book. And so in these deep pockets, you can put, you know, pictures, you could put little keepsake things, and I just think it would be a fun way to keep them stored. So this is the next page that we completed together, and I think I added more pink lace onto her dress. I think I had some, but I added more, and I think that's it. I think otherwise this page was as we completed it together. And of course, it is a big deep pocket here created by the 2 doilies backed against each other. And it is a very solid pocket. It was stitched on the sewing machine originally, and then with creating and putting layers and layers on this side and then on the other side, it's created a very solid pocket that could hold a lot of nice little goodies. Or you could put like one of those a little bag like this, one of these little types of bags. You could put that in there with the little drawstring on the top and tuck that in there with some goodies in it too. So that's that page. And I just move it here so that when I flip it, you can see the pages. Okay, so this is one we did together. Actually, I think I put it together and then I finished it off camera. And I think this little dangle piece here on this pin and this little bit of pink lace and then this gorgeous blink from Kim's shop, and this dangle is from one of the dangles in her shop too. It's really long, it's gorgeous. That I added to this page, and I think initially I had put a collar on this dress of just this lace, which is from Kim's shop. It has the flowers running along the top. I just cut the flowers off. I used some of them right in the corners here. I added 2 more little pieces onto the sleeves of the dress. And I can't remember if I had added this on the bottom here, but I added that as well. But I think I had in the first video. And so that's that page finished. I'm not sure if I had finished off her hair completely. So there was these pretty little flowers and a little bit of this thread that was actually holding the bottom of the tassel. I used that to wind through her hair and make a little floral there. And then this page we completed together, or it may have been one that I showed you and then completed. It's hard to keep track. And I don't think I changed anything on that page, to be honest. I think I forgot to mention that I'd put these teeny weeny little pearls into some of the flowers along the edge of the photo, which just, to me, I love how the white and the beige goes together, and then the little white pearls on it. I think it looks so pretty. And again, this is another deep pocket inside here. And then this is the one we did, the last one we did together. And this is why I added this particular applique up here. I had decided to put this one down the side here. And because you can see a lot of one page to the next, this was plain up here. And when I laid the other applique up there, I absolutely loved how it looked. So, because you can see this one and this one when you're on this page. So I added that in there and added the same little flat back acrylics that were in my stash. And they're sort of a taupey, soft coffee or taupey color, and those colors are in the dresses and in some of the photos, so it was a good color to tie in with the pinks and whites and creams that I'd already used in the book. And then of course I had shown you how I did the layers on her dress. I finished off this spray with and put the little teeny weeny little 2mm, I think they are, pearls in these in here. And I added a little flower, clay flower in the center of that butterfly up there. And I think otherwise that page is the same as how we did on the last video. And then this is the final page. And I used that same pink trim from AngeldreamCraftsKim on the bottom here. It's such a pretty trim, and I love these little bobbly sprays that come out from it. And so I added that. I swooped it sort of across the bottom here. I actually detached this one and moved it so it was on an angle, not straight up and down. And I added 3 pieces that I cut separately. I angled them and added them in the top left here underneath this other doily piece that I used as well on this page. That doily piece is from my stash, and again, it's just a piece of a doily that I cut. This is that beautiful trim that I've shown throughout the book. It has these lovely flowers on it and these beautiful leaves with the sort of oval shaped or seed shaped pearls on them. And then these ones have the round pearls. The flowers have the round pearls on them. And then I added some of her daisy trim on this page, and I added some little pink flat back blings in the center of those. And then this is the floral trim that runs along the top of that more loopy trim that I just showed on the previous page, and I used a few of those in here, I think there and there and there, and they all have little pink flat back bling. That is a tongue twister for me. On her dress, I have added some netted lace with embroidery on it that I think it still is in Kim's shop. I just cut a piece that fit perfectly on the top of her dress here, and a little piece that fit on the bottom here. And this one is not exactly even. I just kind of scrolled it on there. And then I put this little pearly beads around her neck and a little heart there to make a little necklace for her. There's a little bit of that same tulle and embroidery trim. I'll zoom in there so you can get a close-up of that. You can see that little bit that I've gathered and made into a bit of a bow in her hair, and then added a little clay flower as well. And then you can see the top of the dress here. I used a tiny bit of a doily in the background. I used a little bit of the trim from Kim's shop that's on it's on this page. It was the dangle part of one of her trims. This time I cut it apart into individual little pieces, and I added it all along the collar, and then added a little flat back pearl in the center of there and a little acrylic flower. Those are from my stash. I'm just going to zoom back out because otherwise I won't be able to show you it properly. I added that beautiful creamy, sort of soft coffee colored lace that I have in the background of this one, and I have it throughout the book. I have it a little bit going up the side of the little digital photo here, and I cut a little piece off and ran it along the bottom of the dress, and then added some little pearls along the bottom as well. Another little beaded butterfly in the corner here. The lady that's purchasing this book from me really loves butterflies, and they have special meaning to her, and so I added a few into this book for that reason. So there's another one of my beaded ones in pink with the cup chain again for the center of the body. And again, back page I made into a pocket. I decided not to do that on the front because I wanted it to lay a certain way, and I felt if people started stuffing stuff into it, it wouldn't look as well on the front cover, but I felt on the back it would be okay. So this is also a very large pocket that could have things put in it. And then the very back, I finished with that gorgeous creamy soft coffee colored flat lace that was from Kim's shop. This beautiful rosy trim that was in my stash from Kim's shop from a previous design team package, and it's such a pretty trim. If it's not still in the shop, Kim, get some more of this because this is beautiful. I ended up cutting them all apart individually and placed them around there. This trim, you've seen it throughout the book. The one that I view as I saw as hearts, I took the little piece out at the top. I just cut them and put them across the top here and added one of the little flowers from the loopy trim in the bottom. I wonder if I have any. Oh, yes, I do. I'll show you that one just so you know what I'm talking about. I call it the flowers with loopy trim. This is all I have left. I have more flowers than loop left. And so this is the loopy trim on the bottom of it, and then these are the little flowers. And sometimes I actually used it as the whole piece of lace, but a lot of the time I cut them apart and use them separately. So I have this little piece left, but this is another lace that I love. And then I did this along the bottom as well. I did the lace with the little part, the little other piece taken out. Now, do I have any of that left? That is a good question. Yes, I do. Let me show you in case you've forgotten. This is the lace here, yeah, from Kim's shop. And all I've done is I have taken this piece out right here. I've just snipped along where it's attached along here. And to me, this reminded me of a heart shape without this in it. So I used, on the top, I used it flipped this way, and I cut this bottom piece off as well, which I have over here, which I can use this because I love using this for edging around a picture. I can use this as well, gathered up or in a circle for the center of around a center for a flower. It's got lots of uses, so none of that goes to waste. And these little pieces I keep, and I have a whole bunch of them piled up here and elsewhere. They're really good for tucking in when you're doing an arrangement of flowers. They look like little leaves, so they work really well. So I just cut myself off because there came a notice up on my iPad and I shouldn't just ignored it, but I tried to sweep it away and I ended up stopping the video. So I'll be editing it and splicing this together. So you just cut that apart as I mentioned, and this part would be gone right here. And then you end up with this. So on the bottom, I left the scallop on and added it, and it's right on the very bottom. And then just underneath, I added in a piece of the loopy one I just showed you, just so that it was a little bit longer, because this little loop on its own I felt was a bit short. So I added in the extra piece there, and then you can still see the tassel on the other side. And that tassel trim is also from Kim's shop. And then I just added a little charm here from my stash that I used jump rings and put it on a little pin. And then the back, I added in some leaves right here where the ties go in. I added 2 leaves there and 2 leaves here as well. So these leafy dangles are hanging here at the back as well. And then of course there's all the laces and pearls and things you can see from the back too. And in this back piece, I forgot to mention, I did add in more of those flowers with the little pearl centers. I scattered those around too. As this whole page is just a collage of laces. And that's how it turned out. And I think it looks really pretty, and it lays really nice and flat, but it has a lot of texture and a lot of beauty to it as well. So there she is, all finished. I hope you enjoyed the series and watching how she came together, and I hope that the lady that purchased her is going to be thrilled with her when she gets her in her hands and can actually page through her and see what she looks like. And I will be back with another video next week. of some paper dolls that I've been working on, and I'm really excited about them because that's the first time I've ever done paper dolls. I had so much fun. So I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.